you know, pre pre COVID, pre January, I'm sure that there were people thinking about these type of things happening and pandemics. Was there did anybody suspect that you might see this, the public and kind of the way the public is reacting in some cases to
No,
these measures?
no. We, how do I say this? For 20 years of my professional life in public health, I've been engaged in both disease outbreaks and emergency response planning. I helped in my county in response to 9/11. I was, part of the anthrax response group, the smallpox response team. We helped draft and do tests of both several of the emergency response plans. I served for several years as the disaster medical assistance team, which is a federated group of when something happens, you get rolled out to go out and try to help with the medical and the public health response. In none of those scenarios, in none of the tests or the drills that we do, or the exercises, or the actual experiences that had we ever faced a public pushback on the work that we were doing. In anything, when you have a outward facing public servant, delivery of services, you're always going to get complaints. Someone felt that they weren't, prioritized, etc. But we've never had the breadth and the intensity of backlash against public health and public health decisions as we've had. None of us were ever prepared to experience what we have been and continue to experience, because we've always viewed public health as an altruistic approach, that everyone's looking for the common good and the betterment of your community, so that when something does happen, and in our drills and exercises and our experiences we say this is what we need you to do, people tend to, yes, they ask questions, we explain, but they don't tend to say we don't believe you, we're not going to do what you say, to hell with you, and actually we want to take you out because you're a harm to us. So that's something that I would say caught us all off guard. We've had years of planning. Most of our plans were never utilized because of, once again, some of the decisions that were made that shifted the roles and the responsibilities from what we normally will engage in, from a disaster response side of a coin. But nonetheless, this public approach, and especially around the role of the simple mitigation factors, like staying at home, physical distancing, wearing a mask, and trying to curtail travel until we can get a handle on stuff. There are simple things that we would think would be advisable and folks would get rally behind, but just even the politicization around mask wearing here in the U.S., something which is so simple, but at the same token, became such a divisive, conversation piece. None of us were ever prepared for that. Yeah, and especially.